What's up? No real intro planned out just yet for these kinds of things. Just gonna press record and talk whenever I feel like it. I got quite a few new ideas for videos, and I want to try and get through some of them the best that I can. One of them being about Mortal Kombat 1 and my disappointment with it. I'd like to do more just general game industry conversations, maybe some like different talks about movies and stuff. But today, what I want to talk about is Marvel Rivals. I played that game the day that it was fully released because a couple friends of mine told me to download it and play with them. I wasn't super into it. I'm a huge superhero fan. Love superheroes, love Marvel movies, love Marvel comics, love all the characters. But hearing that it was a live service hero shooter, didn't really enjoy Overwatch at all. I mean, I had fun with it, but it wasn't anything I really cared about. So I didn't really have much faith in Marvel Rivals. But at my friend's request, I hopped on, I tried it out, and I have been playing basically every day since the launch of Season 0. I wanted to kind of like document my thoughts in a way, especially now that we're getting close to the release of the second half of Season 1. Really excited for Human Torch and The Thing. So I want to talk about just my thoughts on the game, my thoughts on how it plays, the characters, and maybe even discuss some potential characters I'd like to see. So first thing I want to talk about mostly is just the general game itself. I enjoyed Overwatch. I know there's a lot of Overwatch comparisons because Overwatch is the biggest hero shooter, and that's not exactly fair to Rivals itself. But we're going to compare it anyway because Overwatch is like the only hero shooter I really played, aside from Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare. Overwatch, I had fun with it, but it wasn't anything that really attracted me. Definitely did not make me want to get any battle passes or pay for anything. I bought the game when it was Overwatch 1, played with some friends, enjoyed my time with it, and then I stopped playing. And then Overwatch 2 came out, got back into it for a little bit, didn't buy a single thing for it, didn't spend any money on it, and then just stopped playing again after like 3 days because I just didn't really find it that fun. But Marvel Rivals, though, was different to me. I don't know really what it is. I mean, I can name a few things. One thing that I haven't really seen a lot of people talk about that I've noticed is just how good it feels to hit shots. I never really felt that in Overwatch. I felt that a lot in Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare too, is when you land a shot in Rivals and Garden Warfare, it feels good. It's the mix of the sound effects, the controller vibrations, the visual indications. Every shot feels good to land. You want to hit those shots, not just so you can win, because it feels good. My main, I'll say my mains for each type. My tank main right now I'd say is probably Captain America. My main for damage is probably Mr. Fantastic, and then my main for support, which is the class that I play the most, I'd say goes back and forth between Invisible Woman and Adam Warlock, mostly Adam Warlock, and I dabble in Rocket a little bit too. I'd say like every character feels good. Adam Warlock has like almost sniper-like shots. They're straight, not rapid fire, but straight, really fast firing, like super accurate shots that do a lot of damage. Love hitting them. Iron Man's fun when you get his big like beam, and then you also have like his little like blasters. That's real fun. Mr. Fantastic probably has one of the most unique type quote guns I've ever seen in a shooter game, where you punch, but you can like, it's almost like a mouse cursor where you can drag it across the screen to damage multiple enemies. Super unique. Spider-Man's basically just Spider-Man from the Spider-Man PS4 games. It's every character feels fun and they feel fluent. And one thing that I really like as a longtime superhero fan is just how accurate they feel to the source material. I feel like I'm playing Captain America. I don't feel like I'm playing a strong guy in a Captain America costume. It feels like Captain America. It feels like Loki. Moon Knight feels like Moon Knight. And I think that's in no small part to the visual style of the game looking like an animated comic book, but it also is in no small part to the fantastic voice actors. This game has a studded cast. I looked at the cast with my friends like a couple days after it came out and compared it to different games we played, and it's crazy. It's crazy, and they're all fantastic. Every character sounds like how I'd imagine them to sound, and I think it was the Act Man that pointed this out, but it's really interesting how they have the look of the comics, but the sound of the movies. So, like, Rocket Raccoon has the same voice type as he does in the Guardians movies, but he still looks visually distinct from the comics. Venom still keeps his more Seth MacFarlane comic book style, but he sounds kind of like Tom Hardy in a way. Star-Lord seems very much based on Chris Pratt in the way he talks, but he is blue in this game, like his comic book, which is interesting. Every character looks and sounds and plays like you'd think they would. You know, Spider-Man, he's fast, he's zippy, he's really annoying like Spider-Man. Mantis is more in the back, focused on the healing, like a Mantis. Squirrel Girl is Squirrel Girl. They all feel and play and sound like you think they would, which is really, really fun as a big superhero fan. I can only hope that DC does something like this one day, instead of sitting on their asses waiting for James Gunn to make it their first good movie in a long time. Also, another thing that I really like, the monetization. It's rare to praise a game for its monetization in this industry, especially since I just made a video about how much I dislike how the industry's going. But the monetization is, I think, fantastic. I bought the first Battle Pass because I wanted to support the developers and show that I want to see more stuff like this. And I also bought the second Battle Pass, and it was a good choice. Even if I'm not going to play a lot of these characters a lot, even if I'm not going to use all the cosmetics or whatnot, it's good to support this because it sends a message to the industry that I like this. What about it do I like? Well, you get a good bit for what's offered. I think it's $10. It was $10 for the Battle Pass, and let's see what you have: 10 skins, which is already like $1 a skin, and then a whole bunch of you get your sprays and you get your title cards and all that kind of stuff, and that's really, I think it's a pretty dang good deal. But then the biggest draw, that this game has over a lot of other live service games, which they really didn't have to do, but I really, really appreciate, is the fact that they don't expire. This is something that has infinitely bugged me about games like Fortnite, where I have bought a few Fortnite Battle Passes and really enjoyed my time with them, but that FOMO, you don't always want to play the game. I'm not always wanting to play Fortnite, and eventually I'm not always going to want to play Marvel Rivals. And to be able to just log in, buy the thing, and then leave it for 6 months, and then come back and play it when I want to is really, really nice. I can still experience the season without it actually having to be the season, and that's really, really nice. Again, to tie it back to Fortnite, the last major season that I played, I guess, was the Marvel season with where they had Doctor Doom and Mysterio and all them. Love that season. I played all of that season, but then the season right after that, barely played at all. And then all of those V-Bucks that I had earned from the last Battle Pass, I just kind of left to sit there. Didn't really use them that much. And I guess I could buy stuff from the shop if I don't really care about the season, but then I'd have to buy the Battle Pass again, which is annoying. So in this game, Marvel Rivals, being able to buy the Battle Pass and then have it, just straight up have it forever is really, really nice. I think one of the bigger complaints that I have about the game is just the lack of skins, but that's not really the game's fault. The game did just come out, and it's going to build up its roster as the game goes on. But my main Adam Warlock, he just got his first skin, first real skin, that part of the battle pass, the blood one or whatever. I think it looks great. I like it a lot, but of course it's there's just the one. Whenever I choose Adam Warlock, I have the choice between that or the default, and that's kind of frustrating. But again, that's something that'll be fixed with time. Another complaint, another big complaint that I have, and this is probably my biggest complaint with the game right now, is the way that you unlock things in the battle pass feels really slow, really, really slow, and it's really frustrating that you get maybe 2 items a day, and if you just have an unlucky day, you might just get 100 coins and then a spray for a character you don't use. So what I've done is maybe don't play to unlock things in the battle pass for a week, and then I can unlock 2 whole pages at a time as I grind all the quests, and then that's enjoyable. But I wish I could unlock things a bit faster so I could feel like I'm actually progressing at a good rate. I'm kind of bouncing all over the place here. I'm just gonna kind of talk out of my ass, but another thing that I really like to go back to gameplay is I want to play all the characters. This was a big problem that I had with Overwatch, is that I just did not like some characters. I had my 5 guys that I enjoyed playing, and everyone else wasn't a fan of, wasn't good at them. I know it's a skill issue, but it was just this big bleh fest, especially when I was with friends and we played random heroes, the random duo heroes. It was a slog because I just didn't enjoy playing characters like D.Va. I hated playing as D.Va. I hated playing as Torbjorn. So whenever I was forced to play those characters, or I just wanted to mess around with new characters, it wasn't fun. In Marvel Rivals, there's not a single character that isn't fun for me. They're all characters they're simple enough where I can be good at all of them except for Spider-Man, and I could still have fun with them. Again, my main is Adam Warlock, but I can still hop on Rocket Raccoon, Invisible Woman, Cloak and Dagger, Jeff, or any other healer and still play the game well and have fun doing it. And I think this is another benefit that plays into the Marvel IP especially, is you feel kind of a connection to these characters. I feel a profound connection with Captain America because I love Captain America. So being able to play as Captain America feels really nice, just because 1, he's fun to play, but 2, he's fun to play as. And I think that's kind of a big distinction to make, is being fun to play and then being fun to play as. You like the character and the character itself, if that makes sense. And I think that's a big reason why games like Concord fell off hard, while games like Fortnite and Marvel Rivals have done really, really well, is the character. Character's a big part of Marvel Rivals, and I think it's a big part of why games like Fortnite and Overwatch, when it first came out, was really successful. Each character looks unique, but they also have their own distinct style, but they also fit in with the general style of the game, and I think that's really, really awesome. Spider-Man looks really, really different from Magneto, but you can tell that they're both superheroes from the same game. Well, in Concord, you had whatever characters they have. I know what they look like. I don't know their names. But they could be from anything. They could be from any realistic game. Overwatch, when it first came out, Soldier 76 was extraordinarily different from Winston, but you could tell they were from the same game. Fortnite, all of its characters, granted with how many skins there are, there's a lot of really bad ones, but they all look really different for the most part. But you can tell that they're all from the same game, aside from a few crossovers. So let's talk about some characters that I'd like to see in this game. So as the time of recording this, The Thing and Human Torch are supposed to come out in maybe I think a week and a half, 2 weeks, which I'm really, really looking forward to. Especially The Thing, the the best Fantastic Four character. Some characters that I'd like to see, you have your basic ones that everybody wants to see, like Daredevil, Ultron, Thanos, your more, basic level heroes that everybody likes. But I would love to just see more villains. I think that was a complaint that I had with the roster, which I guess makes sense because it's new, but it's just there's not a lot of villains. I think there's Hela, there's Loki, there's Venom. I think Namor counts as a villain. He was in the new Black Panther movie, but I don't really know if he's a villain. I know he sexually assaulted Invisible Woman, which was pretty L, but anyway, there's those guys. I'm looking at the roster here, and that's really about it. Oh, there's Magneto and Magic, I think, is a villain, and that's really it. There's some really big name villains that they could bring in, but I can see why they would save them for future seasons, so that way there's continuous hype. But I'd love to see, Thanos. I'd love to see Doctor Doom. Spider-Man's got a ton of great villains that would fit really well in this game. Doctor Octopus, Mysterio, Sandman, Green Goblin. They would all fit really, really well. Maybe throw the Lizard in there as another form of the Hulk, where he transforms from Dr. Connor to Lizard. Having a tank that's similar to Mr. Fantastic with Dr. Octopus. I'd love to see Mysterio just in general. I'd love Mysterio, one of the best villains Marvel has, I think. I'd love to see more X-Men. Gambit, Cyclops would be really awesome. Maybe they could throw in Professor X and we could see what he could do. I'd love to see, maybe have, what's his name, War Machine, a different form of Iron Man. And there's so many characters they could pull from. They could add a new character every month for the next 10,000 years, and it would never get old. So I'm really, really looking forward to what kind of characters they add. I think my most wanted character right now, probably Daredevil, just because I just finished watching the Daredevil series, loved it up to pieces, and really excited for the new stuff that's coming out with Daredevil in March. So who knows, maybe we'll get some Daredevil stuff next season. I'd love to see Daredevil. Deadpool. I'm surprised Deadpool wasn't in the base game. We got Jeff the Landshark, friend of Gwenpool. I'd love to see Deadpool. Maybe for his ultimate, he does his thing in Marvel vs. Capcom where he beats you with his health bar. I think that'd be really, really fun. There's just so many good characters they could pull from, with how good most the skins look, with how good the monetization is, and the extraordinarily rapidly growing and sustainable player base. Really, really looking forward to seeing how this game, one, sticks around, but two, cements itself as a mainstay in both the hero shooter and in online shooters in general. I was never really a big shooter guy, ever really, mostly a Nintendo guy. Just got a PlayStation 5 the last 2 years. Wasn't really big into the more super mature games. I do enjoy a few of them, but not really big into the the AAA schlock. But this game transcends both my expectations as a fan of Marvel and my expectations as a fan of fun games to play with friends. Another thing that I've really, really enjoyed about this game that I would not expect is how fun it is to play by myself. I figured when I first got into this game that it'll be something I play with friends, but if the guys weren't on, I wasn't interested. But that is not true. I play a ton by myself. In fact, I play a lot more by myself than I do with friends, which is surprising. And even when there's no progression, I've done all my challenges, so there's no unlocking anything, and I really don't want to play competitive. It's just fun to hop in some matches, which I haven't really had in a game before. I've always wanted to unlock stuff if there's something that isn't just fun to play by itself, but this game, it's fun enough by itself to where I don't really mind just messing around for the fun of it. I know this video is very, very rambly and very out of place, but I really enjoy these types of videos where I can just turn on the camera and yap and then post it. My last video got 50 views, which is not a lot for any standard, but I wasn't expecting that much that fast, which I'm really proud of myself for achieving that. So I'd like to make more videos styled like this, and hopefully sometime soon I can do this again. So I suppose that'll about be it, and yeah, see ya.